fourth place and continues on to play Kata to get to those grand finals.
All right, all right. Yeah, Orcane, one of my favorite characters in the game, just from a design perspective. Such an interesting character, so unique among platform fighter characters. Of course, that teleport puddle being one of the titular mechanics that they revolve around, that we're going to see a lot of, not just on the defensive recovery, but it's so useful in neutral. So you have to balance, if you're playing Orcane, how often do I leave this as a scapegoat in case I need to get back to stage, and how often do I use it to control stage?
Yeah, both of these players in particular have started pretty much playing tournaments in Smash Ultimate and have pretty much fallen accustomed or grown accustomed to the environment of Rivals 2 as we continue to write as soon as we get those betas in, try to get the practices going as much as possible, right? So it's super interesting lineup so far. We have Chag waiting in Grands, who we already know, top player in Ultimate. Waiting in losers is Kata, who is a melee legend on our scene. And then we have two Ultimate players placing third and fourth, respectively, depending on how this matchup is going to go down.
Yeah, it's great to see Chag doing well. Of course, there's going to be a lot of transfer from Smash. A lot of transfer from other games as well. Some of maybe the more off-brand platform fighters. And, of course, the original rivals. You mentioned Cake Assault earlier, who has been absolutely clapping cheeks in this game.
Absolutely.
As have some of the other original Rivals players. And it's been fun to watch the way that cross-pollination has occurred at certain events when you see them playing against each other.
Yeah, but the feature for the rock, paper, scissors is actually one of my favorite inclusions. Especially since I'm not one to talk when I'm just playing. I'm just going to play the game and whatnot. Instead of going, hey, you just want to go to a stadium?
Wait, do you know the rock, paper, scissors meta?
What is the meta? You always pick rock?
Well, I can't tell you the meta because I need to win the meta. I just need to make sure you don't know the meta for when it comes up later.
Okay, that does make sense. Lantini does the meta for rock, paper, scissors, where we're going to make game number 1 at Merchant Port.
For any of you interested, there's a fascinating research article on it. Highly recommend. It's very in-depth.
On the rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, on the
someone did their Rivals too.
Someone did their thesis on rock, paper, scissors. It was awesome to read.
That sounds super interesting, but even more so, early advantage by Jules, trying to get some momentum going. So again, boxing versus Loxodon was a little difficult because of the range, but boxing with Orcane as Fleet.
Yeah, now it's difficult because of the speed.
Exactly.
I feel like Orcane has this really interesting, the block string pressure of Orcane is very unique amongst characters in this game because they can kind of go down the tree where they start with the jab, then they go to the tilts, then they go to the specials, and there's always something to pressure your shield as they're getting pushed further and further away with that block push off.
Yeah, and a lot of people, at least a lot of characters, also have that same options. I like to say that Loxodon in particular has jab 1 into creativity because you really can go for a jab, you can go for up tilt, you can go forward tilt, and actually trying to set up any type of scenarios here with the tornado can be a lot more effective. And all of a sudden, Frame just locks in and just gets some more percentage.
Immediately we see that forward air as well used as a recovery tool, right? We were talking about the way that Jules is going to have to balance using that up special for recovery, using it for stage control, like what we just saw there with the bubbles. And you have things like the forward air in certain scenarios. So you just turn around there, use the forward air, get back, so you don't even need to choose that option.
Absolutely, Lantini. And I don't know if you noticed, but I feel like there are opportunities, or rather moments within the players that you can actually tell like they locked in and they just start ramming a string of different moves and pretty much not able to actually go for it. When they lock in, it's actually something beautiful to see in this game.
Yeah, sometimes you're just feeling yourself, and I agree completely with how free and expressive them. Oh, there you go, teleport, had that on lock. With how expressive the game is, you can tell when someone is feeling themselves.
Yeah, it feels like it's spur of the moment things as well. Oh, barely missing the snipe that time. Explosion, not going to be able to actually do anything with it. Up tilt, jab 1 into up tilt one more time. Managing to get away. The bubble's actually getting some damage in, but actually moving it away from the combinations that Orcane was going for.
Yeah, it's in a weird spot right now. Opts to get rid of it, but had to waste some time for that. And because of that, Grim's able to get back to the stage because you wanted to set up.
You're going for it. Not enough distance, or at least not the recognition that the puddle was actually close to the middle of the stage. Too late to actually be able to punish that. Tornado disappears because Fleet gets hit.
No bubble. Has to go for the forward air. Grim knew it, but wasn't able to get the timing on the punish. And now this is one more chance for Jules on this stock.
And it's getting super close. Oh, but no cigar.
Oh, the patience.
Oh, aerial up air into up air. You love to see those. And funnily enough, Lentini, Jules is an Ivysaur main in Smash Ultimate, so he feels right at home with Orcane.
So my man just likes elemental dogs.
Yep. Absolutely.
I see.
Absolutely. And this water whale is putting in the work. Still feeling pretty much close with Grim, though.
But we've got the power up now. I don't know what the typing looks like, but Jules got the rain on lock. That can't mean a good thing for Grim.
That's rain dance for sure if I've ever seen one, Lentini.
My man's playing a setup character. That's not fair. He's cheating.
Jumpy get up attacks, projectiles in, trying to zone him out. Bubbles being popped. Differential is only over 30+%, so it's still looking pretty good for Grim.
And the coverage. That's all I can say for Jules right now. The coverage is so strong, which makes me all the more impressed with the way Grim is able to just literally float around it.
Man, just tech chases, name of the game, forward throw. Not anticipating that he was going to get thrown that side because he felt like the DI was actually a little too much onto the left.
I like these cheeky little get-up attacks from Jules, making it difficult for Grim to get back to the stage safely because that rinse and repeat, it sends you off stage, and that's going to be the game.
Yeah, the float that time actually being detrimental to whatever recovery Grim wanted to go for.
Well, that's game number one. Looking pretty solid. That Orcane was covering pretty well, but in the end, you know, there's more to it than just, can I put my bubbles down in the right place and combo off of it, right?
100%. 100% with that. So what can we do? Rockwall seems to be like the home court on the home territory for Fleet that time.
I agree with this pick as well because you are giving Jules a smaller percentage of the stage to cover with that bubble. You get to play more normal rivals just by spacing away from wherever that is.
Crouch canceling's coming out with the multi-hits. That's super important, especially if you're fighting against a Fleet that's able to use a lot of fairs to actually set up.
I love the animation there on the crouch cancel, so you can know and understand what exactly is going on, why your opponent didn't take knockback. Nice stall there from Grim.
Yeah, it's a recognition pattern as well, Lentini, if you want to go into the offensive side. Know when they're crouch canceling and not to verify the options that they're going to go for. It gives you a lot more creativity.
Yeah, very true. There we saw a crouch cancel right there, and we can see how much it turned around that interaction. You think you have advantage, and suddenly you don't. Slide into those DMs with an up strong, and now Jules up a stock as well.
Yeah, that's going to be super important for the rest of the matchup, Lentini. You got to make sure that you set up properly with the bubbles and impede any type of offense that Grim really wants to throw out.
And once you have shown that, now Grim is going to be more cognizant of those bubbles, worrying more about playing on them, and that gives Jules just another little opportunity to control the opponent because you've created that fear.
Actually trying to go in that time down there, not quite going to be on the mark, getting punished for the recovery. Forward tilt just sending him right onto the outside. And because of the bubbles, again, not being able to toss out that tornado when they want to, now actually get as a get off of me tool as well. They pretty much can do it all with that moves. Combo starter. Oh, neutral get up onto the down strong. Grim loves those.
Yeah, Jules managing to keep alive for a while there. Eventually, Grim took the stock. However, you're still up a good 80% right now. This is where Jules gets to just slow down the pace, force Grim to approach with a character who doesn't really like to do that.
Jab down tilt, name of the game right now. You're going to have to actually start DIing a little backwards to not get hit by those. But it is so difficult when you keep on putting that pressure that Jules is right now.
Oh, drop a bomb on him. I see you, Jules. Ooh. Dash in, great call out as well with another up strong there to take stock number 2. This is looking fantastic for Jules.
Reads upon reads, Lentini actually moving in that time and the bobbles popping, putting up a barrier pretty much. Like you mentioned beforehand, you are limiting the space where Grim really wants to go for, and the entire purpose of this stage as well is to have that space to be able to put on your offense, but when you have those bubbles coming out by Orcane, you're having a bad time just moving around.
And it's difficult if you're Grim to really play the setup game, get the arrows going, get the tornadoes going the way you want, because not only does Jules have the ability to shoot these puddles at you, having the ability to snipe that and then throw the actual bubble part too like that while you're setting up just stuffs out any opportunities to play that patient game.
Moving in one more time, hit fall there, sending him right across the side, making sure that I get that sweet spot on there just to get some more knockback. Forward tilt coming in with 114% floating.
Ooh, what a snipe from Jules. Hit him with a water pistol.
Get him inside the puddle. Throw out your strong attacks. You're going to have a lot more range, Lantini.
That was very well played, and that's something we haven't seen yet in this set. So it's a good opportunity when you want to close out a game. Make sure you guarantee that 2-0 lead up against Grim. Now I'm going to pull the trigger on this weird mix-up you're not ready for.
Merchant Port being hovered. Godai Delta as well. Ho Dojo is going to be the pick.
Okay, we're going to Triplats.
Okay, what do you think of this?
I think the key thing here is largely trying something new. You know you want something relatively large, whether it's vertical having a bunch of platforms or just with the horizontal. Now you're trying to ask yourself the question of, how do I get away from these bubbles? And the horizontal game plan's not working, so let's go vertical.
And bubbles popping one more time. In controlling the stage, the reason why I see maybe a little bit of difficulty for this in particular is because the platforms actually give a lot of opportunity for how Jules wants to play the game. He wants to rush you down. And if you have more moments that you can move around on top of the platforms, it could be a hard time to actually be able to recover if you're Grim.
I do like this setup in the corner from Jules, putting the bubbles on that one platform and then just sitting under it saying, well, where are you going to go? I can react to everything you do.
This movie, that jab down tilt is putting in so much work on these offensive maneuvers. And actually moving back, wave dashing outside, looking in. They're going to connect that time. They need to be careful, however.
Going for the bubble butt. I'd love to see a good bubble butt combo.
As you should. As you should. Double air that time. Down air not quite going to hit the mark for Fleet.
The down air attempt. Finally, so we keep seeing that. Grim finally gets the hit, and there's no conversion available because you're getting dealt. You have to deal with the puddle.
Trying to move in slowly but surely. Dash attack. Hitting him with the sour spot and the multi-hits on the bubbles. Grim really doesn't have anywhere to go except outside.
Okay. That's one thing you do get now as Grim. It's going to be a lot easier to land. No tech roll in. I like the idea. Speaking of no tech roll in, kind of a weak punish on both sides there. And now we're just getting silly with it.
Waiting. Sometimes it's better to just not do absolutely anything and you will win. Unfortunately, this isn't Luigi and this isn't Mario Party.
But we'll see if that's going to be enough to win. Either way, Grim on the back foot right now. Jules looking poised to set up for a 3-0 and a handshake right now.
Yeah, moving in, and that sour spot on the back here could have comboed to something else, but Jules missed the punish. Not to worry, however. Still looking pretty good. Bobbles popping. So you're going for back air that time. I think an upper would have sealed the deal.
Ooh, the patience, trying not to burn out that shield, but also scared to do a plat drop, though it is a lot easier than it is in a lot of other platform fighters. It's very well coded.
Actually going in one more time. The upper air is going to miss the mark. 150% already onto Fleet. Jules is moving around.
Again, we're seeing that same timing. Grim has a very specific timing on those floats, and I think Jules was ready for it. Maybe watching the last set, because that looked like a pretty hard call out.
No combo breaking on the special pummel. It just leads to the forward throw, sealing the deal for that stock. Grim looking in danger, purposing of 3-0. We saw the comeback in a reverse 3-0 on the previous set, but this is looking pretty difficult for the Fleet.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. Sometimes you tried your best, and that's all it's going to be. However, Grim, showing signs of life. We get that stock off. Here's your opportunity. You can scam the dog if you just get that snipe when Puddle is offline.
Actually going in that time one more time to send them to the outside, but forward tilt with 89%. Oh, barely missing. Forward tilt. The amount of distance that it covers. Oh my God, that was ridiculous!
Double bubble! He hit him with the double bubble. That was crazy. I've never seen that before.
That was insane. That was insane. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I love this game. I love
Rivals 2, everybody. And I believe,
So good,
I don't know the dates for it, but we've got an open play test coming up, don't we?
Yep. Starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow. There you go.
Starting tomorrow, baby.
So if any of y'all like what you see, you want to do a double bubble yourself, definitely check that out. It's going to be a great time. I know I'll be clapping some cheeks on there. I'm sure you will be as well.
I will try, but I feel like my cheeks are getting clapped. But Steam Fest, again, throughout the course of the entire week, it's going to be available before launch, and the launch is on October 23rd.
I'm so excited.
Available. It's $40, and then the rest is going to be absolutely free. If you want cosmetics, that's going to cost you additional, but all DLC characters are going to be free. Everything that has to do with gameplay is going to be free once you buy the game, of course.
Yeah, I don't know if you follow the Twitter discourse, but this game is so well monetized, like pro-consumer monetized, that people were taking to Twitter going, how are they going to make money?
Take my money,
Like,
Dan.
Take
my money,
People are
Dan.
asking Dan to take more of their money. That's how